The 1908 baseball season. It was the end of this. We'll get to the end of the season here. Boston Americans, they changed their name and became the Boston Red Sox. June 30th, Cy Young throws his third and final career no-hitter. Red Sox win 8-0 over the New York Islanders. August 4th, St. Louis versus Brooklyn. The entire game, they used one ball. One ball. Now you try to go through one ball now, forget it. Yeah, imagine by the end of the game, dirty, beat up, slightly warped. Yeah, it was that back in that day, the dead ball era. Pitchers pretty much set the pace there, and they did whatever they want with the ball, like dirtied it, mucked it up, scuffed it. Any way to get the hitters out. Yeah. September 27th. I mentioned yesterday about a boner play. Oh, here we go. The Merkle boner. So here's the situation. Got Moose McCormick on third. Fred Merkle sitting on first. And you have Al Bradwell up at bat. Hits a clean base. They're at home at the Polo Grounds against the Chicago Cubs. Al Bradwell hits a clean base hit. Moose McCormick rumbles home, scores. Figure, yeah, okay, game over. Now, here's where the fun begins. Fred Merkle gets somewhere between first and second. He knows the run scored. The crowd's cheering, getting a little rowdy, and he figures, oh, he's alarmed by the people. Back in those days, the fans come onto the field to celebrate too. So that starts happening. Fred Merkle's halfway to second. Gets alarmed by the people coming on the field. Thinks, okay, game over. Turns around, goes to the dugout. And let's see, Johnny Evers, who's seen this. This is where it gets disputed. How he got the ball in the first place. Now he eventually ends up with the ball. He's like stepping on seconds, like showing the umpire, yeah, I've got the ball. Guy's out. Ump calls out. Yeah, some of the Giants players find out afterwards. Yeah, what? Wondering how the hell that happened. Fans on the field started getting a little rowdy against the Cub players and the umpiring. They all needed police protection just so they don't get slaughtered. Yeah, when Evers stepped on second, it ended the play. It became a force out, and the run that Moose McCormick thought scored ended up not counting. Yeah, they replayed the game October 8th, which pretty much decided the pennant, and we'll get to that in a minute. Cubs win 4-2. Now, there's two things here. First thing is Rule 4.09. A run is not scored if the runner advances to home base during a play in which the third out is made. So, in that sense, the third out was eventually made, and the run that Moose McCormick scored did not count. But there were some reports that said Joe McGinnity supposedly threw the ball into the stands, and a fan caught it and tried taking off with it. And I put here, by rule, after any fan or player who wasn't in the game, which McGinnity wasn't, touches the ball and play become dead. Meaning that run could have counted and the Giants could have won. And It got crazy. So much stuff happening there. It's like took the National League president 2 days to decide. Okay, that run's not going to count. We're going to replay the game at the end of the season if the two teams were tied, which happened, and the Cubs won, as I said, 4-2. And we'll get to those standings to see how close the National League was. But we're going to start with the American League. And Detroit ended up finishing first, 90 wins, 63 losses. Cleveland finished second, a half game back at 90 and 64. I mean, Detroit could have made up their game, and they decided not to, which is like weird. White Sox, 88 and 64, 1.5 games back. St. Louis Browns, one of their rare good seasons, 83 and 69, 6.5 back. Red Sox finished 75 and 79, 15.5 back. Philadelphia Athletics, 68 and 85, 22 back. Washington finished 67 and 85, 22.5 back. And New York Americans, who are a long ways from being the team that they are now. 51 wins, 103 losses, 39.5 back. Now we get to the National League. And as mentioned, the Cubs ended up 99 and 55, winning the National League controversially. And New York Giants and Pittsburgh Pirates each finished with 98 wins and 56 losses, one back. Yeah, that's how close it was. Phillies, 83 and 71, 16 back. Cincinnati, 73 and 81, 26 back. Boston Doves, 63 and 91, 36 back. Brooklyn, 53 and 101, 46 back. And St. Louis Cardinals, no, they didn't finish 10 games behind Brooklyn. They finished 49 and 105, 50 back. Season stats. Ty Cobb finished at top of the batting. His batting average was first at 324, and he led the American League with RBIs at 108. Sam Crawford of Detroit finished with 7 home runs. Eddie Walsh of the White Sox finished first with 40 wins and 269 strikeouts. Addie Joss of Cleveland, 1.16 ERA, which was very good in those days. National League, Honus Wagner of Pittsburgh, 354 average. Yeah, another batting title. Tim Jordan of Brooklyn, 12 home runs. Honus Wagner also led the league in RBIs with 109. And pitching was the Christy Mathewson show. Yeah, he won himself a triple crown. Led the league with wins in 37. Led the ERA with a 143 average, and led the league in strikeouts with 259. Now we get to the World Series. Chicago and Detroit. Chicago home games were at the West Side Grounds, and Detroit was at Bennett Park. This is also the rematch of 1907, which I think the Cubs also won. It was Game 1 on October 10th. In Detroit, Chicago won 10-6. Game 2 on October 11th. In Chicago won 6-1. Game 3 October 12th in Chicago, Detroit won 8-3. Game 4 October 13th in Detroit, Chicago won 3-0. And Game 5 October 14th in Detroit, Chicago wins 2-0 and wins the World Series 4-1. And that is the 1908 season in a nutshell. Tomorrow, 1909. And until tomorrow, stay tuned.